I don't know which one shocked me more, NASCAR saying we're getting rid of the Confederate flag or an admission in Boston. And I've had this experience. See, this is where the conversation goes, where black people all have one conversation, and apparently most white people have another. Because my problem with Boston, and first of all, nothing with the Red Sox. Torrey Hunter said, this has nothing to do with the players or the organization. This has to do with Boston, all right? The only times I've been called an N-word to my face in public have been in Boston Garden. The Red Sox don't play there, the Celtics do, okay? The only time I feared for my life on the streets, I was with David Dupree, who you know well, and we were in Boston covering a series, and we're wound up in South Boston, and a white cab driver, screeches over to the curb and says, get in, I don't know where you guys think you are, okay? So black people, all of us, or close enough to all of us, have had the conversation about Boston forever. And one of the reasons I don't go on WEEI anymore, despite some hosts I love, are that there are too many times where I'm baited into something and I wind up screaming at the host and they don't own it. I grew up in the most segregated city in America at the time, Chicago, Illinois. We know what it is and we know what it is, and then we had to own it. Too often in Boston, no one owned it. That's what the Red Sox did. That's a first, or almost a first, in terms of systematic ownership. And the anger isn't that Boston is the same as it was in 1980 or 1960. That's not it. But they didn't own it. And too often now, the fans, the residents, New England, they don't own it. This, Torrey Hunter was saying, is own it. That's how you start. You can't start a revolution if you don't own what you do. This is a huge step, and people might not associate it with being as big as NASCAR banning the Confederate flag, but I do, because this conversation has been going on forever. One side of the street sees it one way, and the other side sees it another. Until there's some sort of meeting, Tony, this was going to continue about black folks and how we feel about Boston and the way we were treated in Boston. No matter what its reputation for being liberal city and a liberal state, that was garbage. Because you were as likely to be called the N-word in Boston to your face as you were in Selma, Alabama for 100 years. And if anybody didn't want to accept that, go on Twitter now. That's what Torrey Hunter was talking about. That's what the Red Sox owned yesterday. God bless them.